They said his father died by mistake. They said it was fate. But in Africa, fate does not lie. And the ancestors do not forget. Long ago, in a village where the earth was red and the nights were quiet, there lived a boy called Sefu. His father was a farmer, a man whose silence was as deep as the soil he worked, a man whose hands fed the land, coaxed life from dust, and harmed no one. Sefu learned the earth from him, not through words, but through watching those hands. Until one night, a silence fell that was different, a silence that did not bring peace. He did not return. By morning, his body was found at the foot of the great Iroko tree. Broken cold, the leaves of the sacred tree seemed to hold their breath. The chief spoke quickly, too quickly. It was an accident, he said, his voice a smooth stone skipping over the deep waters of grief. The village nodded, their heads bowed to authority, not to truth. But Sefu, a boy, saw what the men refused to see. The lie in the way they avoided his eyes. The truth in the way fear sat heavy and suffocating in their silence. That night, as his father was lowered into the ground, Sefu knelt. The air was thick with unspoken words, with the scent of damp earth and sorrow. He did not cry. He watched the last handful of red soil fall, and he whispered to it. A promise meant only for the spirits and the land. I will not fight you. I will wait. The wind passed over the grave, a low moan through the grass, and the earth, witness to all things, listened. Time moved on, but peace did not return to the village. The men responsible began to change, hollowed out from the inside. One could no longer sleep, haunted by the phantom sound of a branch cracking in the dark. Another lost his sight when darkness fell, able to see only the long shadow of the Iroko in his mind. Another heard footsteps, always behind him. But when he turned, there was only his own guilt, a phantom weight on his back. They called it sickness, they called it madness, but it was memory, alive and breathing. One by one, they were pulled back to the place where the farmer fell. Not together, always alone, drawn by a force they could not name. There were no spirits chasing them, no weapons raised against them, only guilt, heavy, unforgiving. A silence that screamed, pressing them down into the very earth they had stained. They clawed at the ground beneath the Iroko, as if trying to dig out the memory itself. And so they spoke, not to the chief, whose lies had built their prison, not to the people they had deceived. In their madness, they confessed to the ground, to the ancient roots of the Iroko, whispering the truth to the same earth that drank innocent blood. The village heard the broken whispers on the wind, then a story, pieced together from a madman's cry here, a sleepless wife's tears there, and lies, no matter how deeply buried, can only hide for so long. The chief lost his stool, his authority crumbling like dry clay. The men lost their names, becoming ghosts in their own homes. And Sefu, now a man, with his father's silence in his eyes, walked past them without a word. He had planted his patience like a seed in the soil of his grief. He had waited, and the ancestors, who dwell in the earth and the trees, had answered. Because in Africa, revenge does not always come with fire. Sometimes it comes with time.